In the meantime, I'll get more chemical onto these. Smaller one for the edges. And that's all there is to it. Messy. doing here now is recutting the face of the stone, taking it right back to good stone, all the angles lovely and straight, the actual stone itself lovely and flat. It's a bit of a long process, but it's worth it because it makes it look like new stone. Bit of a dusty job. You can see that's sort of like phase 1 and 2. I've got to now use rubbing buttons on it and sand it and all sorts. So I'll crack on. A rubbing block. This one's a 60 grit. Right then chaps, that's the process for taking the paint off and recutting the stone. I'm going to show you now a section that is actually complete. Well, you can see there, that's a finished section. That's how it's coming up. Like new stone. Excellent. So that's from many years of paint. Well, a build-up of carbon, very black carbon on it, and many years of paint. Probably about 1 millimetre thick, the paint. And it's back to stone. And that stone's been recut, so all these angles are nice, the little bits are all nice and straight again. There's only little bits missing, but you know, it's 1904 it was put there, so it's been there a good while. Right, I better crack on. So the next job is fill it up with a 60 grit and then reduce it slowly but surely to about like 200 grit. Fantastic little things these, they really do take quite an amount of stone off. Makes it lovely and flat because it's like a rubbing block, and keep it flat to the stone. It just makes it lovely and flat. It's great stuff. There you go, that's all nice now. It's not really smooth, so it's a bit of a wash, and let's get the dust out of it. And that's done. We've got another seal around the edge, the window frames. They've got plastic strips right out, which look horrendous. We've already cut the stone and decided we're going to take the strips off. So we'll go back and just tidy the edges in. But it's all good with it, it's good and easy. Right, well, there you go. We'll leave you there for today. Another job tomorrow, finishing off another stone job. So we'll see you tomorrow. yeah, so it's a bit of a commercial job, this one. It's actually a cafe or cafe bar type place. Very posh. I think you have to book a table. Anyway, it used to be a bank, this. So very ornate stonework here and there on it. The owner of the building, he wants this stone repairing because it is getting a bit thin in places. I mean, ideally, there's a couple of short mullions want changing, but not in his budget, unfortunately. So I said I'll face them up instead. Right, I'll leave it again now just for a little while. Do another flatten off, and then once it's set in a bit, very light go over with a soft sponge. Well, there you go, boys and girls. That kind of concludes this video. Now, what have we looked at? Well, we've looked at stone this week, and what can be done with stone that's been heavily painted for many years. Stone that's full of filler and bits of cement mortar and all sorts of crap. What we've had to do with this particular stone is apply what we call peel away, which is a paint stripping chemical. It's readily available. You can get it online. Now we use a peel away 1, which is probably better for doing things like heads, sills and mullions, because it will eat away at oil-based paints, especially old lead paint, which is probably what's underneath the modern paint on these damn mullions. Anyway, once we've removed that paint with the assistance of this peel away stuff, we find underneath that the stone itself is in many places absolutely clogged up with carbon. It's as black can be. Because what you have to take into account is that when this particular property was erected, It was the year 1904. And we didn't have motor cars, and we didn't have jets, etc. But what we did have was mill chimneys and coal fires in houses. So you could imagine all that carbon from burning coal and all sorts. You used to burn the rubbish even. So all that carbon that was in the air stuck to the stone over the years. So the stones turned black. And then at some point, because the stone looked dirty and black and horrible, the painting process started, which is a common thing throughout the UK. Now, a good way to get off the carbon is to use an acid. Now, we're not going to go into detail of what acid we use. That's something you'd have to look at sourcing yourselves, because everybody has a different type that they like, etc., etc. So I apply the carbon remover, shall we say. I'll let that soak in for about 10-15 minutes, and then I give it a gentle power wash. Very important on sandstone not to go too high with your pressure, because you can dig holes in the stone with your machine if you're not careful. I mean, my machine is more than capable of digging big holes into the stone, so I make sure that the pressure's turned right down on it. Not enough pressure to get the carbon off that's been softened with the acid, but at the same time we don't want to be digging holes. And then once we've done that, that's got, I'd say, a good 60 to 70% of the carbon off. Now the next process is to get that stone flat, smooth, and pretty much back into its original shape. And I do that by milling it, by cutting it down, planing it, whatever you want to call it. I'm probably taking about 3 millimeters off, which sounds a bit harsh, but it takes it back to good, solid stone. It removes 99.9% of the pitting that is in the stone, and because I'm using this special machine for doing that, it works a bit like an electric wood plane, where you've got the table and the blade, and the table guides the blade, and it keeps everything nice and flat. A very good piece of equipment. Once that's done, we use the rubbing blocks as I demonstrated there, and that's pretty much it. Just give it a damn good wash down, and jobs are good. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget, thumbs up. Very, 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 very important that we get those thumbs up, because it helps grow the channel. And that's what we're all trying to do. We're all trying to grow our channels on YouTube. And if you have enjoyed the video, and it's the first time you've seen us, and you're thinking to yourself, alright, enjoyed that, well, just subscribe. Go for it. It's quite simple, and it's free. You don't have to pay. You just hit that like and subscribe button, and you're away. You're a member of the gang. Right, well, we're going to leave you there. That's it for this week. For another episode of buggering about with old buildings. See you next week. Thanks for watching.